Hello and welcome to NDTV. I'm Rohit Khilnani. Reminiscence is a Hollywood film that stars Hugh Jackman and Rebecca Ferguson. I've interviewed both these Hollywood stars. It's a film where a scientist discovers a way to relive your past through a machine, and he uses this technology to find his long lost love. Here are my interviews with the cast and crew of this film. Hugh Jackman, hi. This one is for your fans in India. Do you want to give them a shout out and tell them when can we expect you here?
Rohit, thank you for that. Hi to everybody in India, the 1.3 billion of you. I love India. I love you all. And maybe I could time it with the next Australian team visit.
Amazing.
Actually, I'm not sure about that, Rohit, because if I turn up when the Australians are playing and I'm supporting Australia, I may not be very popular there.
That's true, but you're Hugh Jackman. I think you'll get away. Right. So this is a very interesting job that you have in a movie. Put people in a tube and then they get to relive their past and you get to see it as well. Tell me, if this was your job in real life, would you enjoy it?
Oh, absolutely. I'm fascinated by the way people think. And I think generally if that was my job, most people are going back to look at memories that they want to relive.
Right.
So hopefully it wouldn't be going through too many awkward, weird, dark, depressing. Right. Although one of the really interesting things about the story is that my character was a veteran from the war, and he was used in the intelligence corps with this machine to interrogate. And that haunts the idea that you're going in to find and go through some of the darkest periods of people's life.
Right. And suppose you could you could watch a period of your life. What period of your life would you like to go back and just watch?
Everyone in India is going to understand this. So my father took me to the centenary test between Australia and England in 1977 at the MCG. I was 8 years old and we drove 12 hours there, and we walk in the stadium, 100,000 people. I went to go to the bathroom not long into the day and walked out of the stadium, and I didn't have a ticket. I was lost. So my father spent the entire day searching for me. And I spent the whole entire day crying outside, being lost, and I don't remember one ball being bowled. So I want to go back to that because, as everyone there knows, it was one of the great games.
Of course, Indian cricket lovers will love that. And if you could put a Hollywood friend inside that tube and watch their past, who would it be?
Oh, if I could go back and watch, wow. So I don't say this very often, but I would like to. I'd like to go back and see some of Ryan Reynolds' past, because I don't understand how you could turn out to be a man like that, and so it'd be interesting just maybe to help out his many therapists he works with, just to get some clues about his past and how he became so dysfunctional. That'd be helpful.
Amazing, fantastic. And in this film, viewers have seen the trailer. There's water and there's a city. Do you want to give them an idea what to expect?
So the world of the film is Miami, and it's in the near future. We don't actually say when, but Miami is now pretty much submerged, except for the wealthy areas. So think Venice in Italy. People get around by boats in the lowlands and getting around. And so it's so hot that people now live during the night. So schools are at night. It's just too hot during the day. So it's and then it's sort of a beautiful world. It's unlike anything people will have ever seen. And it is something that is really worth seeing at the cinema. If you can get to the cinema and go, I highly recommend it. Amazing. This is my first interview with you, and it's been such a pleasure. Thank you so much. Your first one? Yes, with you. Yeah. But I'm sending my love out to everyone there in India. We all watched and know it's been a very, very difficult year. So just reaching out and sending all our love and prayers. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Thanks, Rita. Hi, Rebecca. Good to see you. What a very interesting character in this film. Were you more sold to the character, the way it's written, or the concept of the film at large?
Good question. It's hard to like one more over the other. There's a reason why I signed on to do the film with the script and the vision of the film, but I think it turned out very well. But for me, I guess the process was all of it. It was reading it and creating and developing it. But she's an amazing character.
She's a beautiful character. And also, if you could go back, Rebecca, in your past and just see yourself, what part of your life would you like to just sit and observe?
I'm getting this question a lot. I think I'm going to have to start creating an answer. Do you have one you can give me? Would you go to childhood? Or would you go to your first job? What would you do?
Childhood should be fun just to observe, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, maybe or maybe maybe a memory I can't remember.
Okay, that's interesting. What is Hugh Jackman like to work with as a co-actor?
He is fun. He is naughty. He's extremely professional. He knows exactly how to balance the art of professionalism, but also the lightheartedness that is needed, I believe.
Right. I'll just turn the other question around and ask you, if you could put someone else in that chamber and watch their past, who would you put in that chamber?
Maybe you prepping for interviews.
And you could see the questions I'm writing before the interview.
Exactly.
Right. And what is Lisa like?
She's tough.
Yeah.
She has a beautiful sensibility over her. She has a vision, strong-minded, but with the possibility of creative openness for everyone around her, which is a freedom for us as actors. Beautiful. She's a beautiful inside and out human being. She is also one of the reasons why I just said yes straight away. Her way of verbalizing her thoughts was so colorful and so eccentric and vivid. I just felt I wanted to be a part of the world that she wanted to describe.
And she did create a beautiful world, and you guys performed so well. Thank you so much for entertaining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hi, see you.
Hi, yes. How are you?
Very well. Loved your performance in the film. Congratulations, and thank you for entertaining us.
Where are you?
I'm in Mumbai.
You're in Mumbai. Yay! I was there a few years ago. My husband wrote the Marigold Hotel movies. So I had the enormous privilege of going to Rajasthan to visit him.
Hope you had a good time.
It was one of the best experiences ever. I loved it.
Hope you get to come again, and hope we get to see you.
And also I have a very good friend, a fashion designer called Ashish. And he works in Mumbai a lot.
Lovely. Your character is so well written here. What I want to ask you is, were you initially attracted to this beautiful character that was written, or the concept of the film at large?
All of it. But the biggest draw for me was Lisa Joy, who I've worked with a number of years. Yes. And I knew that she was directing her first feature film. She'd already directed an episode of Westworld, which was exquisite. So we all knew that she was going to go on to great things. And there she was going to go on to do this movie. And I had no sense that she would invite me into it. In fact, as far as I knew, the whole movie had been cast. And we were actually shooting Westworld. And so when she offered me the role, it was like 2 weeks before they started shooting. Wow. So it was very sudden. And I just jumped in, surrendered, hoped to goodness that I wouldn't let her down because I love her very much.
Right.
And it was an amazing experience. And I think that the fact that Lisa and I know each other as well as we do, and we have, we have very similar outlooks, and we challenge each other really well. It made for a very exciting experience.
Nice. Yeah. And you've won so many awards. You've got all the nominations. All good characters are written for you. Everything an actor can ask for. What do you think before finally saying, yes, I'll do this film?
Goodness. I think, would I do this for nothing? And if the answer is yes, then I'll do it.
Fantastic. And
You
if
know
there
what I
was
mean? I don't feel like I'm an actor for hire anymore. You know, I have to, it has to be something that I feel very passionate about and that I feel is going to be of value to the audience that are going to watch it. I mean, of real value, of real positive value that's going to create good healing energy for the world. That's what I really want to put out there.
And you've managed that very well so far. And, you know, you're doing the biggest part during this pandemic. You're entertaining us. We need all that.
Oh, I'm glad you think so. I'm glad.
Thank you so much.
So you're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Time for a short break on the show. On the other side, my interview with Kate Hudson and Octavia Spenser after this very short break. Welcome back to NDTV. This is Spotlight. Now time to get you my interview with Octavia Spenser and Kate Hudson. They star together in Truth Be Told Season 2. Listen to what they had to say. Hi Kate, hi Octavia. Thank you so much. This one is for your fans in India and you both have too many of those out here.
Oh, yay.
My first question to you, Octavia, is, could you explain to the audience how was the second season greenlit because the first season became successful, or you all always knew there will be a second season?
I think it was a combination of both, and we're so grateful for that, to have that partnership with Churnin Entertainment and Apple. They saw the value of telling this exquisitely thrilling show and story. So yeah.
Right. Kate, did you enjoy the first season? What stood out for you?
Oh yeah, I loved it. I mean, I'm such a fan of true crime, as I think everybody is, as we know. I mean, most people. So yes, I mean, the first season for me was thrilling, and I thought everybody was really, really wonderful in it. And then for the second season, I got excited because, one, that I got to obviously work with Octavia, who's just the best, and I'm such a big fan. But also, when I read the first episode of the second season, it was very clear that it was going to be a show about this relationship, and that they were going to delve more deeply into character dynamics. And that the plot, actually, as important as it is sort of becomes then a secondary versus the other way around, which is always, to me, my favorite kind of true crime shows.
Right. So, a line says that their lifelong friendship is put to the ultimate test. Octavia, do you want to explain this line to the audience?
Yes. In the very first episode, in the season opener, we learned that Micah Keith, played by one of the greatest actresses of her generation, Kate Hudson, she is a childhood friend of Poppy's, and we see them reconnect. And in the opening episode, her husband is killed, and she asks Poppy to help investigate, to find out what happened to her husband. And in the process, secrets are revealed, and their friendship is tested. And the friendship is tested because when you're so close to people and certain aspects of who you are and the secrets that you hold so dear, do you trust that person to keep them? Do you trust that person to safeguard those secrets? And should you? And that's what's very exciting about the road we get to travel down in season 2.
Right, Kate. She's successful. She's independent. Do you relate to that character as well?
Yes. No. I mean, when you say successful and independent are two words I really appreciate. I do like my independence. success. Granted, however you like to look at what success is, I do feel quite successful in my life based on my family and certain things and being able to be a working actor. But I think there's a lot of differences. Obviously, Micah is this sort of self-proclaimed lifestyle guru who has taken her story to be to motivate people and to help them optimize their life with her tools, you know, and I think she really owns that and believes that in herself. There's a sort of a level of narcissism that I think is really interesting to play with Micah, and so there is that where I do find it relatable is sometimes, you know, when we're doing interviews or things, people ask me all the time, like, how do you do this, or how do you balance this? And the truth is, me personally, I don't have any real answers other than like just sharing what my life has been. Whereas I think Micah and her success is very comfortable owning that her way is the way.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Octavia, you know, this is a very interesting line and a very interesting concept, that we only know things about people they want us to know. Do you believe that truly in the real world as well?
Absolutely. I think there are some things that you have to hold for yourself. I love having a little bit of mystery, and getting the opportunity to get to know people and allow them to give you the breadcrumbs to the things that define them. But, you know, that's what's exciting about this season is there are things that we hold close, and there are things that we would never reveal. And when the people around you, your closest friends or family, reveal anything, you know, there's conflict and tension. So, yeah, I do think that but that we do sometimes only show people what we want them to see.
Right. Kate, how much of Kate Hudson do people actually know? Would it be 50%, 60%, 80%?
That's a really good question. I know it's something nobody's ever really asked. I think I'm pretty open. But I think there's probably about a good 15% that people would be shocked. No, I'm kidding. I mean, I think there is definitely things that, you know, that I keep to myself. But I like being, to me, I think the only reason why I would keep those things to myself is because I have to versus because I want to. And me, I actually really enjoy being and living transparently and openly. I find it to be liberating because I don't feel like I need to hide anything, you know. That doesn't mean I don't have personal things that I keep for myself, but, you know, I take 10%. Yeah,
okay, thank you for that. Good number. Thank you so much. Wish both of you good luck, and I hope my next interview with both of you is in person. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, that's all we have on the show. We got you interviews of Reminiscence starring Hugh Jackman, Rebecca Ferguson, and Truth Be Told Season 2 starring Kate Hudson and Octavia Spenser. Stay tuned to NDTV for lots more.